was the way that it was done. I found it to be very artsy in the thing. Do you understand when I say artsy? Very, very artsy, you know. But there was an energy that kind of flowed as you went through the rooms and then come back. And what I liked was, so the group that I was in, we was on the stage and we did our show, okay? And then I think it was Fernando's group. And Fernando's group, you know, your group, you were in the crowd, you know, so, you know, he was in the crowd, so he was very interactive with the group of people. And, you know, so the whole space here was used. The audience was being used as well. When Fernando was saying, I need help, I need help, I need help, you know, and he went to Claire and she panicked, but she said, okay, I can help you. That was good engagement. That's what I like about the show, because it was completely different from how I've done all my other shows in the Black Men Consortium. That's what I want to say. Sorry.
I also thought was quite interesting is the guy who had a view, I'm not going to go back into the discussion we had, but he had a view, and then later on his views changed. I don't know if you will recognize that. Later on, his views changed because he realized that the show wasn't just about what you saw on the stage, it's also what you experienced in the other rooms as well. And so he came back totally different. And I like that transformation when you can transfer the audience way of thinking, because you got so much to show them and it opens up that bigger space, you know, and then in a way it felt very small because now there's a bigger space for discussion. And I really appreciate that in those performances that we did on Tuesday night. The fact that we went from here to out there and people came up, wow, okay, this thing has moved on. Yeah. Right in that moment, it had moved on. And I really appreciate that. I thought that was really good. And that's a tremendous round of applause for everybody in this room.
I mean, you should be able to have those difficult conversations with the public. You should be able to say, okay, you know, for many years, black mental health was a taboo subject. Yeah. You couldn't talk about that. Do you know what I mean? It was like, yeah, I've got mental health. No, man, you're mad. Keep away from me.
It's stories.
Yeah, but it's not as taboo as it was.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean? So, but we still need to have the conversation.
Absolutely, and I think
and I think this is what we're doing. Sorry, Keith.
So I'm only standing up because I'm short.
Sorry, Keith, you see it?
It's always to try and mistake, isn't it? For me, I'm going to be very honest. I like theatre work, so performing on the stage is my comfort zone. Anything else is really not kind of me. I don't really do galleries, I don't do arts and stuff like that. However, I agreed to do the manifesto to kind of challenge myself to doing something that I've not done, because I've done many things in my world. And when I stood up in the gallery and all eyes were on me in the frame, to me it was like, that's another thing I'm not really comfortable doing, but I did feel comfortable because I had something that is passionate to me about mental health that again is a taboo subject, and I really wanted to break down those barriers. Because as I keep saying, 1 in 3 of us have a mental health condition, and define mental health, it can cover so many things. So I feel that I want to thank Tony, because I usually come out of my comfort zone, because on the stage I can do anything, but standing up, one person, everyone focused on me, despite me being who I am, is not really something I like to do, but I actually did it, and I felt that I got my message across, and I really enjoyed it, and it was something different that we've done for over the last 2 years. So yeah, again, I just want to say thank you, because it's something else I know I could add to my bucket list that I've done, which I would never normally have done. So thank you.
I was able to observe and participate. So at the same time, I was able to see the performance from below the surface. So panic in the movement, and is it going to go this? Is it going to, and all our stuff going on. You know, where's Tony? Tony's here. And did you remember to do this? And where's the drum? And where's the picture? And all that.
That's Tony. Yeah.
All of that was going on. But then again, but then also you had the awe of the audience and the intrigue of the audience. and the transformation of the audience as well. There was a young lady who I invited to the performance. I met her last Monday night when we were going home, and where's my Brendan from Birmingham? Brendan disappeared. You know, we were walking, we were talking, and as we were walking, I saw this young lady roller skating in that little space down by just before the library itself, and she was awesome. She just looked like magical, and she was floating and doing her thing. So I just stopped and congratulated her. She says, "Oh, what you doing? I like your scarf." I said, "Listen, if you come down to the library tomorrow, we're going to be there." She said, "Who?" I said, Black Men's Mental Health. We're going to be there tomorrow." She said, "All right, I'm coming." So she came, and she brought a friend of hers as well. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. So on the two levels. So it was like, I would say the performance was like a swan. On the surface, it was like floating and smooth and graceful and all the stuff is happening. And they probably wouldn't know that underneath
It was like that.
Like a chipmunk.
It was like those two was awesome. And my brother came along. He was there as well. He works in the mental health field, and he was sharing some videos he took with the family on the family WhatsApp too, and we're getting some good feedback from that as well. But yeah, uplifting, so uplifting, and being in the room. The one thing I wish I had there was my own djembe. I had Don could help me out with some music as well. And who is it? He's not here tonight. Solomon also helped out with the djembe as well. I love the drums, man. And yeah, I could have been doing that all night long. That's phenomenal. But amazing Kings, amazing.
I think for me, just really highlighted the mixed ability that we've got amongst us. And you talked about this thing about emotional resilience. And although underneath, we probably were frantic, but because I've done several, and that all sort of several shows that all say it all works good on the night. And I think it's because even with newer members, the ability just to be very adaptable, and we see what's happening, and we just get on with it, and we sort of we trust each other's abilities because we've seen each other over the preceding weeks, and I think even if it's a subliminal thing, we just get on with it and we do it, and it happens. So for me, it's seeing that that mixed ability and that trustfulness, knowing that okay, I can vibe off you, and I'm not panicking because I know you add to me and I'll add to you, and that's what happened on the night.
Just feeding off what you say, Trevor. This might be going into the next topic, which is like where we see this going in the future. So if it is, then I can hold back.
Please.
Yeah? Alright, I'll do that then. By the way, I've got to leave about 9 o'clock.
Can I also just say that, you know, the journey from the beginning, from week 1 to the production itself, it's a journey in itself, because as Keith said, you know, he doesn't usually, you know, talk out in audience, but when we're all on stage, that's a force to be reckoned with, because many of the audience threw questions at us, and we were able to like, okay, we can deal with that because we can support each other. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's so important, that journey from not knowing each other too well to stand up in a group of people and they shout whatever question it was, and we're like, okay, you deal with one, you deal with all of us. And I thought that was, and you Kings, I mean, you keep using that term. I mean, it's just a beautiful term, because on that stage, we defended each other. You know, whatever anybody shouted at us, we were able to,
Wellness and wholeness.
yeah, wellness and wholeness, that brother, man. Can you hurry up, please? You're taking too long, you know what I mean? But we were able to defend each other, and that's a credit to the ability of us coming together collectively on stage after, 7 weeks, not a long time to go and get to know each other in 3 hours on a Monday night. Come on. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like we've known each other for like 20 years or something like that, especially when we're on that stage. We protected each other. So no matter what anybody threw at us, we were able to defend whoever they threw anything at. So I thought that was awesome and beautiful in a sense. So that's a grounding. It's beautiful.
And it's also it's also testament to what we do when we're not performing, because this group is supposed to be about mutually supporting each other with our mixed ideologies and what have you, and having that sense of, so that happened because of the grounding of what we've been doing whether it's with new members coming in or old established ones who've developed a degree of friendships, and that's what's happening even in now.
I think there's so obviously everyone knows like the world that I come from, where you know everything that I do in that world is scrutinized down to the last like T. So like acting world, yeah. So like coming into this for the first time, I was like, oh my god, everything has to be perfect, and of course it doesn't have to be. But going away from that, and this might seem stereotypical, but there was something. What was that thing? What's the thing at the beginning, Tony, where you call out ancestors and you libation? Yeah, I didn't even know what that was until like it started happening, and it was really weird. After we done that show, I was just on YouTube and the new trailer for the new Black Panther come up. It's basically a compilation of all the old clips, and it's for Chadwick Boseman. And there was something that just made me really I don't know, there was something in what we did that night, and when watching that clip, that made me realise there is a connection, like, between us. And it might sound weird and cliche, but it's you know, when we talk about ancestral trauma, yeah, and it's a lot of what's always brought up when people talk about like the slave trade. It's always mentioned with the slave trade. But there's something about, I feel, being, if you want to say black or political black, or just being not, I don't know how many people feel like the UK or England or whatever, how many people feel that this is their country, or they don't feel a connection to it, or there's something. Personally, even though I was raised by what I'm trying to get to, even though I was raised by a white mum and I have a black dad, I still feel like there's something missing. But there was something about watching that trailer, doing that at the beginning, and all of it coming together, that part for just a brief moment felt like it was filled in. And I felt like there was something, like going back to this mutual understanding. We understand each other, we've got our backs, but it's different. Like in the acting world, you always say, oh, you've got each other's back, but you know there's something you haven't. But there's something in this room, like, everyone has each other's back. Does that make sense? Like, am I kind of getting what I'm trying to put across?
It's the energies we're blessed with, man.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? But it's something that I think with whatever's going on in this country, and especially around the world, and especially us as men, as whatever you relate to, black, mixed race, brown, whatever your colour that you relate to, what you identify as, there's something that still draws us together, and how much people try and divide us by whatever they want. There's something that we found in this room and in that space that I feel like if we could just put that out there into the space, it sounds weird that a lot of problems would be healed, but that's a bigger issue in itself. But there was something that I feel like we found that is in there, if that makes any sense.
Brotherhood, unity, just like look at opposite of division.
Look at it like a big soup pot, okay? Each one of us bring an ingredient to make that soup.
Yeah.
And when that soup is cooked and we taste it, we'll say, yes, that's it.
Cheese. Cheese.
There was just,
yeah, you know? Yeah.
that's what and I feel like,
and it could be something as simple as like, Gemma bring some thyme. Yeah? You know? Chaka bring some yam. Do you know what I mean?
Just bring these.
What do you mean?
I'll bring some pork juice.
You're all adding to the pot, and when we take our spoon and we sip on that soup.
Take your time.
We take off the Dutch pot, then we go. And we take the spoon and we go. And we go. And it just energizes us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
there was Yeah, definitely. It's the food, it's the sauce, it's there, like, you know, I love the soul.
Yeah, really good flavour.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you. Thank you. Let's hear from some people that haven't spoken yet, please.
While I think I want to pick up, because at the beginning, before we even done the show, there was some talent, pianists. There's a piano there.
Yeah,
and
my
I'm
God,
not sure who else.
And Duncan.
Duncan.
Oh my gosh.
And yes.
That was just amazing. I mean, I caught a lot of it on video, but that was just listening to that, seeing you guys.
No, but you were singing it with drums.
That was just amazing, you know. So again, big up, thank you for that, because that was
awesome.
amazing. So I just want to say thank you, that was great.
Oh man, that's the soup, man. It's calm the chef.
Any more about the show that you want to share about last week for you? For those who haven't, particularly for those who haven't spoken yet.